Facebook is like the social you. As I mentioned earlier, you can, in the About section in Facebook, put a little description of who you are, what sector you work in, or what field of interest you've got, which I think is a really good thing to do. So if people are doing some nosing about or doing some research on you, then that information is there. Obviously, you need to be careful about what you post and when you post it. We have a member on here who shared with us the fact that she had posted something on Facebook when she was working in an A&E department, I think it was, which was intended as a kind of jokey perspective on people wasting time in the NHS. And quite awfully, it blew up out of all proportion, and she found herself in very deep trouble, which is just horrendous, isn't it? So you just need to be really, really careful and think things through, Facebook, you can connect with friends. You can connect with friends of friends. Sometimes it can be nice to attach a message explaining why. But this is networking. This is the new norm. Okay, isn't as weird as it sounds. And the other thing you can do on Facebook is look for groups and pages that you can like. So you can search for terms and get involved. When you're in those groups and pages, commenting, contributing is a really good thing to do as well. Just because, again, your name is coming up and people, oh, who's this person? She's interesting. He's got something to say. So liking is great, but actually, commenting is even better. And again, profile pic can be a little bit more relaxed in Facebook. If you're feeling really brave, you could consider a Facebook page which would attach to your personal profile. So, we're at a terrible time. That's an understatement. But we're also at a time when people are really interested in what we've got to say. I mean, we've got the public's attention. So if you are, if you have got a special interest in the field that you work in, or something in the back of your mind that you're thinking one day you could, perhaps develop a project from it, then setting up a Facebook page could be something for you to think about. You need to think about the why, what, who and when, and that will kind of help develop the content or drive the content. But people, at the best of times, love hearing about, health advice, health promotion, all of that kind of stuff, and especially at the moment. So again, always being mindful of your NMC commitments, not saying anything, out of the scope of practice, all of that stuff. But that is something that you could think about if you were interested in. Content needs to be consistent. It doesn't have to be every day, but it needs to have some sort of regularity to it. And you start just by, again, inviting friends, and hopefully they invite friends, and, it just builds. But that could be something with that little bit of time that you've got at the moment to do something that feels, positive, and, do it on your own terms, all of that kind of stuff. So that's just a suggestion. Instagram, I think we all know, it's a visual tool. It's all about the photos. Hashtags are important on Instagram. They're just a way of coding information so you can search for stuff and people can search for stuff that you're posting. Again, there's all sorts of nursing groups on Instagram, alongside business groups, that kind of thing. Instagram allows you to create different accounts as well. So again, if you were feeling brave, you could have a personal one, or you could have something that's a little bit more to do with your role or to do with your interest, and use it as a platform to kind of put content out there. And with Instagram, you have the ability to kind of put a little link in the sort of about you section if you want to kind of drive traffic somewhere else. Twitter is more the outspoken you. It's it's great for debate. Again, hashtags are important for coding information, finding information. You can follow friends, interests, celebrities. It's it's a real good mixture. There's a lot of misinformation out there as well as information, as with all social media. There's some rather unpleasant comments to read from some, ignorant types, but again, what can you do? Again, you just be very careful about what you're saying and what you're posting. So the golden rules for me in terms of posting, again, I know some of these might be obvious, but don't post when under the influence. This is across all of the platforms. Don't post when you're angry. Don't post when you're provoked. Be aware of your workplace. Think it through. So you can delete stuff that you've posted it, but once you've posted something, somebody's going to have seen it, So again, we just always need to be really mindful that we're not doing anything to compromise our profession and our workplace and our colleagues and all of that kind of stuff. So just being careful with anonymity. I think as nurses we're pretty ahead of the game on that kind of stuff. But as I mentioned earlier, it's something that might seem funny to you. You need to be careful. We live in a very regulated world, don't we, when it comes to free thinking. This just a joke picture that I created on the back of, you must have seen Dolly Parton's thing where she did her different profile pics. So it's just a spin on that, really, just taking the mickey out of the public kind of stereotypes of nursing. So we've got angel, sexy, gay man, and then reality. So that's me there. So yeah, is it showing off or is it showing up? For me, I'd say it's showing up. As I say, I've spent so many years feeling a bit shy about putting myself out there, and I think it's a really common nursing trait. I think we assume that people don't really want to know. I think partly, the reaction that we get from people, you're an angel, you're this, you're that, it's hard to sort of engage proper conversation from those kind of comments, however well intended they are. But actually people do want to know, and so, it's important to not make those assumptions. As I said earlier, it's, we live in a world where it's who you know, not what you know. And obviously I don't mean that too flippantly, but what I do mean is that, making connections with people, you never know what can come out of that. You never know how a couple of years down the line something comes up and somebody thinks of you. It's that kind of thing that I'm talking about. If you don't tell people about you, they'll never know. Nobody else is going to do it. Everybody else is too busy talking about themselves. What you do is incredible and important, and it's down to you to make your voice heard, because like I say, people do want to listen, especially now, and there are opportunities that are out there every day, but if you don't make yourself available, then they're not there for you. It's the same, nobody's ever going to come knocking on your door asking you to come and do whatever it is. You've got to go out there, put yourself out there, make yourself known, and that way opportunities come to you. People do definitely want to know. So that was my last slide on that. So let's get back to me. So I hope that was helpful and not too heavy. I wanted to keep it kind of nice and light, and be respectful of everything that's going on. All right, guys, I'm out of here.